What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Off the Gridiron, your Apollo HOU Houston Texans podcast. My name is Noah Outlaw. I am one of your hosts, as always, and as always, I'm here with Garrett Harrelson. What's up, brother? What are you wearing?
Huh?
What are you wearing?
Clothes? A beanie?
No, I'm not talking about your beanie.
Are you talking about the gloves?
I'm talking about your chest, your midriff, your hands.
It goes. It's Halloween, man, and I'm dressed up as the Grim Reaper, the Garrett Reaper.
Right.
Because it's fuck the Colts week.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So
it's like you're the Grim Reaper. You're here to kill the AFC South one by one.
Yes, you know the picture of him going to door to door,
yeah,
killing people and killing things.
Yeah,
I'm killing the Colts this week. It's Halloween. Don't look into it too much. It's Halloween.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes like last year, after I believe it was the Ravens lost in the playoffs, you came out as Hannibal Lecter, and that was in January.
Well, that was a real thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing like dress up. I was like, real.
You were actually just strapped to a board because you were actually having a mental break.
Yeah. No, I just didn't like the way we lost that game.
I see.
And I had fully sold myself on we're a Super Bowl team. CJ Stroud is going to be the first rookie ever to make it to the Super Bowl. And then I don't know, I felt burnt. It was really just like because of myself. I got so mad at myself, so crazy about myself and what I thought was going to happen that I just couldn't handle it. But this is just Halloween, dude. It's a day of recording Thursday, October 24th.
Yeah, that's today. It's almost, close to Halloween. Also 4 days away from your birthday, buddy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you are right. It's a birthday Halloween type thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we beat the Colts. We will for my birthday. That'd be awesome.
We absolutely should beat the Colts going into obviously coming off a troubling Green Bay Packers loss. But also the Packers are a damn good team, a lot better than the Colts, and we were neck and neck in that game. I mean, it came down to quite literally the last second. Yeah. So the Texans should handle business against Indianapolis. Is this one? This one's in Houston?
This one's in Houston.
In Houston.
Yeah, this is a noon game. Yeah. It's the basics. A little AFC South divisional matchup. Yep. Noon on a Sunday and CBS Sports. The home field, obviously, I felt like that Packers home field got to us a little bit.
For sure.
I feel like it did, and those fans, they're obviously really passionate. So bringing it back to Houston right before our, Thursday night game, it's nice. That'll be nice. That'll be a nice pickup for sure.
I agree. And also, hopefully the fans, hopefully Texans fans haven't lost too much steam after a troubling loss last week. The team is still 5-2, so still show up to NRG, still be loud, be proud, be excited about what we got cooking this season because it's still really special. But let's get into the game a little bit. Obviously, coming off last week, as we mentioned, but this is a game the Texans should handle. CJ Stroud and the offensive line struggled last week, and it all starts up front. And, D'Amico talked about on Monday in his press conference that, they're going to make a lot of changes. They have to make a lot of changes. It was obvious that they struggled and need to do something. And I liked hearing that. I liked hearing that message from him. And then now it's later in the week at practice, the offensive line has stayed the exact same. Kenyon Green is still at left guard. Titus Howard's at right tackle. Doesn't seem like they're changing too much. So obviously there's a coaching perspective, maybe some scheme shifts that they're going to do. But Garrett, I was hoping to see maybe some personnel changes.
Yeah, and maybe there's a reason why. Because this team is obviously in win now mode, and the performance that they gave the offensive line specifically was abysmal. It was unacceptable. It was just awful. Our offense, our passing game rhythm there was no rhythm. What rhythm? So you would think maybe they'll change up the personnel. Maybe Jarrett Patterson's going to be stepping in. Maybe they're moving around Titus. I don't know. But maybe there's a reason why it's staying exactly the same. Maybe Jarrett Patterson has taken a huge step back from how he played in his rookie season. Maybe they really just do think like we can coach up Kenyon better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, I am still like wait and see, and I have had criticisms of the coaching staff this year. Not terrible. They're still overall doing pretty well, but if they let this ride out too long, letting the offensive line do what they're doing with the same personnel, it's going to become frustrating, and not even frustrating for us, but the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the entire offense has been not what we expected this season. And the offensive line they've had ups and downs because there's been times that they look solid. They don't look bad at all. I mean, they looked similar to what they were last year, which last year, not that they were a top 3 offensive line, but they were very steadily and consistently solid and gave CJ time to do what he needed to do. And I think, I mentioned this on the last episode, but I think the real blaring issue is Nico Collins adds another element to the offense where maybe they can't blitz as much, or CJ just doesn't have to wait so long and someone's open because the secondary has to cover 3 guys instead of just Tank and Stephon. And so they're not as locked up for as long as Tank and Stephon seemed to be last week. I mean, Dalton Schultz led the team in receiving yards at 28 yards last week. And that was on one catch. Yeah, it was on one catch. But yeah, back to the offensive line. I mean, I am too. I'm waiting to see because I know I've seen what this offensive line can do. Obviously, other than Kenyon Green, we haven't seen everything I've seen from him so far in his career has not been good. I mean, he's had a solid game, maybe 2 games, but I'm at a point where I'm a little over it, and I don't want to just be like, all right, well, it's week 8. We're gonna still see if he can do it. Like, let's see if he can. No, like at some point, everyone in the building knows that we're in win now mode. We're like the definition of win now mode is the Houston Texans. So we don't have time to like let's wait and see on Kenyon. So I was hoping to see maybe move Titus to left guard, put Blake Fisher at right tackle. I don't know, throw Jarrett Patterson somewhere in the mix, because he's been good from what we've seen. But no, they're not doing that, and I guess we'll see.
It's wait and see mode right now, but I really do think that the leash should be extremely short for Kenyon. And I even think like if this game he's, doing a shit, like allowing pressures, allowing free runners, just not being on the same page as the rest of the offensive line, pull him out at halftime and put in another guy.
Yeah.
Especially if the game is close.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if the game is close at halftime, and then somehow like we leave Kenyon in there and we just can't get anything going because of the offensive line, and somehow Anthony Richardson rises to the occasion and beats us, I will be putting everyone on blast. Everyone will be on blast. I'll get on here on Monday's live show and I will be on a torrent. I'd be on an absolute warpath.
Yeah.
With my ranting. It's going to be crazy. So if he has allowed up until this point 18 pressures and allowed 3 sacks. If he's still doing that in the first half, bench him. Come on. Something's got to give at some point. And then you have a short week coming up. You have a short week coming up against a pretty formidable front 7 with New York. Maybe not since Salah's been fired. They've been actually kind of mid on defense.
Yeah.
But still, you're talking about on the road, short week against an Aaron Rodgers team on a terrible turf where we got beat up last year. I am surprised by there's no personnel changes, but there should still be extremely short leash for maybe even all of them. Not even just Kenyon. I don't want to single Kenyon out. Yeah. Maybe all of them should have a short leash. I think there needs to be more discipline.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and look, obviously they're not going to put Tunsil on a short leash. Shaq Mason doesn't need one. I don't even think Juice needs one. But I think Titus Howard and Kenyon Green can be on short leashes now, because obviously Blake Fisher's sitting right there for Titus Howard's job. I don't know who would be the next man up for left guard for Kenyon Green. Maybe Kendrick Green or
if he's on the team still. I don't know.
Jarrett Patterson maybe could bump into that role.
Dieter.
Yeah, no, Dieter's gone. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, Dieter's not around. But I don't know. obviously, I don't know who the next man up would be in that situation, but I agree. I mean, I love that I love that mentality because I'm done wasting time, and I'm also done putting CJ in harm's way. Like, don't hit my quarterback. Don't. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want. Like, please, because I'm telling you feel this. If anything happens to Pookie, I will be. Oh my god! Like my headspace.
I'd Grim Reaper myself.
Oh my god!
I'd Grim Reaper myself.
I wouldn't do an episode just because like it would be catastrophic. Like if CJ got hurt because of this offensive line.
And seeing free runners come in and just hit them, like when they
as hard as they fucking
blast
can.
them. Yeah, just blast them. It's hard to watch because also like it's preventing CJ from getting into a rhythm. And there have been weeks where he's not able to get into a full rhythm for a full game. Mm-hmm. And you kind of need that. You kind of need like your star quarterback to get into that rhythm. Yeah. Because like any week now, Patrick Mahomes is going to get in a rhythm. Also, I mean, they are 6-0. It's besides the point. But when Patrick Mahomes gets into a rhythm, the Chiefs will just be dangerous. And I don't view us as a dangerous team until CJ is able to get into a full game rhythm for many weeks, for multiple weeks in a row. Yeah. But the offensive line just actively prevents that from happening. Yeah. So just if we can't get into a rhythm because of the offensive line, then you just need to start throwing shit against the wall, see what sticks. Yeah. Because I mean, the rhythm needs to be there. We can't be inconsistent. We can't be like, losing, being so close to teams and situations when we shouldn't be because we have no rhythm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like, obviously last year, I haven't seen CJ Stroud this season. I genuinely do not believe I've seen CJ Stroud in a rhythm so far this season at all. I don't think that this offense hasn't just been on a rhythm at all this season. And I mean, it was about, I don't know. I mean, the Texans at this point last season, there were plenty of games where I'd seen the offense just clicking on all cylinders. And we haven't seen that yet. But I think this was about the point last year where CJ Stroud had his 5 touchdown game.
It was early November. That was early November,
late October. Yeah, it was. You're right. So what I'm saying by that is this is about the time in the season where, all right, hey, everyone's got kinks in kinks in the chain a little bit. Got to figure it out. Got to clean it up. This is late October, early November is where it's like, all right, hey, this is where the teams separate themselves. So I'm hoping we get that from the Colts this week. I mean, because obviously this is a Colts team that we should pretty easily beat.
It's not a great team. It's not a great team.
It's not. And their defense, they got some guys up front on the defense. I'll give them the credit where it's due. They got a physical defense, but the Texans should be able to handle it. And this is another big test for the offense. I feel like we say that all the time, but this is a big test.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I think going back to where you said I haven't really seen CJ in a full game rhythm. Mm-hmm. I think maybe the closest we got to that was week 1, where he was just kind of like, at this end of the game, beginning of the game, first he was kind of getting there. Second half of the game, he was making insane throws. Was able to win the game because of that. The Bears, we put ourselves in a tough situation. The Vikings, obviously, that wasn't even a game. The Jaguars, tough situation. Yeah. The Bills, tough situation. Obviously, Patriots, they suck. We blew them out.
But in the Patriots game, there was still a whole after the first 2 touchdowns, there was a whole quarter or so where they didn't do shit.
Yeah, it was 14-7, I believe, going into half because they we couldn't get anything going in its entire second quarter compared to the first quarter. It was just a night and day difference between the first quarter and the second quarter. And there was just, that's a thing about keeping up rhythm, keep consistency. If you get into your rhythm, let's just try to keep CJ in that rhythm. It's all of that. Like, obviously, your team is going to run through your star quarterback. Yeah. So let's put your star quarterback in situations where he's going to succeed. And all of it, going back to the offensive line and the personnel changes, there should be some eventually if they can get it done. We'll see. I don't know if they'll do it before a short week, but after a short week, if they're still struggling after the Jets game, I better see some changes before the Detroit game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and to the other end of that, I mean, like you mentioned, we get 2 games in 11 days, and we'll kind of move to the defensive side of the ball a little bit. But 2 games in 11 days. We got the Colts and the Jets, and like you mentioned, that Detroit Lions Sunday Night Football game comes after that. So luckily, the Texans will have a long week, 10 days really to get ready for that Lions game after Halloween, and. The defense I'm not worried about. But ideally, in these next 2 games, this offense is clicking, and we're 7-2 going into that Lions game, and that would be obviously ideal. All right, but let's move on to the defensive side of the ball. Texans. Let's talk about this real quick. Signed Devin White, former Buccaneer, former big dog. I mean, there was a time where he was one of the best young linebackers in the league, and everyone was really excited about what he was doing, and was with the Buccaneers, goes to Philly, and it just kind of maybe the wheels fell off a little bit, and he has a new home in Houston.
Yeah, I remember a few weeks ago, I fully said on Twitter, I was like, we don't need him. Our linebacking core is already pretty good.
Yeah.
The fact that we did sign him, that might raise an eyebrow for Azeez and Christian Harris's health.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're okay. Maybe I was thinking maybe the reason they signed Devin White was because we're probably going to be without Christian Harris and Azeez for a few more weeks. Looks like Henry To'oTo'o is fine, ready to go.
Yeah.
Azeez, up in the air, and Christian, where are you at? I want to know where Christian Harris is.
I don't know where he is.
I don't know. It's kind of wild. I thought he'd be back by now.
Me too.
It seems like Nick Caserio said, I think on Pendergast's show, he was like to something to the point of it's been a tricky recovery because it's been in and out of what they think the injury is. I really don't know. I think it was a vague thing, obviously.
Yeah.
But the Devin White signing, it's one of those low risk, high reward type signings. It's probably an incredibly cheap deal, maybe a minimum. And we're just seeing hey, can you replicate kind of replicate what you were doing with Tampa when you were, a Pro Bowler and a second team All Pro guy?
Yeah.
Because that was just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He won the Super Bowl with them 4 years ago, or a little bit more than 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the Derek Barnett thing. Derek Barnett, former first rounder, didn't really ever, had made a few big plays, was able to help him win a Super Bowl in Philly. Maybe wasn't the best his last few years. You cut him loose, he goes to Houston, and he was a crucial player down the road or down the stretch when we made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Devin White can be the same. I don't know. That's also just we'll wait and see. Who knows we'll even get snaps this game.
Yeah. Well, and I think the Devin White thing is, I'm not too worried about Azeez. I'm worried about Christian. I have no idea what's going on there. I'm not worried about Azeez. I think, and obviously you mentioned Henry's coming back. I just think, we have a huge Lions game after this stretch of games we got coming up. And I just don't think they want to rush Azeez back, especially with, Neville Hewitt played well, Jake Hansen played well. If you add Devin White to the mix there, get Henry back, you got good depth there. And it'll be exciting to see what Devin can do. But there's no reason to rush Azeez back because, we're going to need him full force for the Lions. So, I think that's more so what the signing was for, is just let's just run it out, run these 2 games out, get a little more depth, get a player with potential like Devin White. I was going to say the same thing about Derek Barnett. It's like the exact same thing. It's same team and every, you know what I mean? It's same thing, team and everything. And Derek's still here. And hopefully Devin ends up being something similar. Maybe he fits in and, he's a Texan here for a little bit. I wouldn't mind that at all. And D'Amico obviously can figure, if D'Amico wanted him, they're going to figure something out. So,
that's the kind of coaching. That's the thing that D'Amico brings as a coach is he'll see a defensive player, Moneyball style that nobody really wants, and he'll turn him into a crucial team guy.
Yeah.
So, hopefully he does the same with Devin. I have all the faith in the world that he will, because he's made players I've never even heard of, pretty crucial players.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that Kurt Heinisch would have been a fine player for us last year?
Yeah.
I never heard about that guy until he popped up on my screen one day.
Yeah.
So who the fuck is Kurt Heinisch, dude?
Yeah.
And that's D'Amico right there. So all the faith in the world, and we'll see. I'm pretty hopeful for Devin White in this defense.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. And we'll take the depth, and I'm super happy Henry's back. He adds a level of physicality to our defense that we really need. He was out with a concussion, and I understand how he got concussed. He comes flying in.
He's a torpedo.
He
He's a
is,
torpedo.
yeah, absolutely.
He's
And
an
so
absolute spear.
yeah, he's back. Okay, so obviously this defense is playing against the Colts, which we've seen this team already. Once this season, week 1, AR-15, Anthony Richardson seems to be playing. I know it's kind of up in the air every week. It seems like he's always injured with something. Flacco is always ready to come in, and that's my worst nightmare. Is Joe Flacco comes into this game.
Last time he was here, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But Joe Flacco just kind of seems to, and it just happens. It happened last year with goddamn Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew did the same thing with the Colts, and so Joe Flacco, I just don't want to avoid that at all costs. I want to keep AR in because I think this Texans defense, really most defenses in the NFL have learned how to figure out Anthony Richardson, but this Texans defense, I think, can easily handle him. And so obviously limit his rushing ability, make him throw, and his completion percentage, and he can't throw the damn football in the NFL.
No, and we got on here after week 1, and we're both like, I don't understand why Anthony Richardson is getting hailed as the king after this game, because take away those 3 big completions and he had a awful fucking day passing through the air. And I knew that wasn't sustainable. I like the guy. I don't want to keep preying on his downfall, but he is in our division.
Yeah.
The way he plays isn't sustainable. He won't stay healthy. He never slides. He has never had time to work on his accuracy. And now that he's in the NFL, I will never understand why you want to draft someone with accuracy issues into the NFL, as if they're going to get better and develop their accuracy in the NFL, where everyone just runs a 4.4,
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I'll never understand that philosophy, but I don't really believe that Anthony Richardson can do what's really gonna be the determining factor is if Jonathan Taylor plays, which we don't know. That's up in the air. And if they have Jonathan Taylor, they are a better team against us. But I don't have any confidence in their offense against our defense.
Yeah.
Unless Flacco maybe comes in, and Flacco does give them a push. They get a push from Flacco, but it's still not enough.
It shouldn't be enough.
We made the Packers offense, turn the ball over at times. I know Jordan Love throws interceptions all the time now. It seems like, but we were doing that. We're forcing fumbles against the Patriots. So I expect a few turnovers. I expect a few picks. Just keep Kalen Bullock way up there.
Yeah.
Do not let Anthony Richardson just bomb it all over NRG.
No.
That's what I don't want. So keep Kalen Bullock up there. And I think we're solid.
I think because obviously AR in week 1 did have those big plays, but I think Kalen Bullock, with now what'll be 7 games under his belt, is just evolved as a player. We've been watching it every week, and he's been lovely to watch, and he's been a really bright spot. Just an exciting.
He's been lovely. He's been lovely to watch.
It has been lovely. Like at times where we're really pissed watching games, Kalen Bullock will make a play, or Kalen Bullock gets a pick. And it's just, oh man, that's good. It's just a good, refreshing moment. It's exciting. It's a bright spot on the team at the moment, with a team but with a team that has more question marks than I wanted to have, especially in week 8. So Kalen Bullock, just like you mentioned, keep him up high. Don't let that bullshit happen. I don't want to see fucking Alec Pierce streaking down the field. Knock that shit off. And also, look, I think the guys are coming out. I've said this a couple times this year before, but I really do. I think the guys hear the chatter. This was a game where the Texans, the Vikings game was early, but the boys are hearing the chatter, and after that Green Bay loss, and I think they want to prove something. I think they got a little chip, and that's maybe something this Texans team needs, because last year they performed so well with no expectations, and now the expectations are here, and they're kind of think they're big dogs. So maybe I want them to hear the media and people talking shit and lock in and shut down this Colts team. The final score of this game ideally should be 30-3. You know,
Ooh, I don't know if it'll be that.
no,
I
it
just
won't
don't know.
be. But no,
It's funny. I just don't know how we'll be able to put up 30 points. You
yeah,
know,
I don't either.
other than putting up 40 in New England, I'm just like we haven't hit 30 points anywhere any other game.
No,
You know, so I still think offense will struggle a little bit. There's no way it's just going to be fixed. I try to snap, but I have gloves on. There's no way it's just going to be fixed, over the course of 1 week.
no.
But you know who will, and I guarantee you will have a chip on his shoulder. I mean, he always does, but it's Coleridge Bernard Stroud.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
throwing 86 yards in a game, not being able to get into his rhythm that he always dominates from.
Yeah,
he's pissed. He's pissed. I'd be pissed if I threw 86 yards in a game.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, I'm terrible.
Especially because CJ Stroud is a guy who was, kind of looked at as almost one of the second comings of quarterbacks. Like, it was like a really high touted, like last year they've had the best rookie season ever. All the hype all offseason. You come in against a big game against the Packers and throw 86 yards. Yeah, he's pissed.
Yeah,
he's pissed.
Maybe he'll come out and I play him in fantasy this week. I don't even mind if he throws like 5 touchdowns. Let's go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I hope he does. I hope this is like one game where he has like 4 touchdown passes and he looks really good, doesn't make mistakes, run game looks great, and maybe we will just like have like that avalanche of offensive firepower that we just keep going. Like I thought it was going to be in the New England game. I guess it kind of became that, but we scored on one drive. We got the ball back, scored on another drive. Make it like that, dude. Like let's get a drive in. Field goal, get a drive in, touchdown. I want you to score on almost every drive possible.
Yeah.
I think it might happen, but we'll see. I have no reason to believe that it will happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure yet either. But I'm just saying, ideally, the Texans come out and just shut down the Colts. I mean, that's what I want. I just want it, and I need it. I need to see this Texans team be dominant before November's here. I need it because it's what they should be. And I'm also, I want to add this because obviously losing one of your best players for 4 weeks sucks. Nico Collins is still 4th in receiving yards in the NFL.
His start to the season was insane.
He was on pace to shatter every receiving record. Obviously, he was going to have games where he didn't perform that well, but because also Nico Collins has been the Colts killer. Like, but Nico Collins has had some crazy stats ever since they've played. I think he's had 3 games with CJ in his career, and I want to say he's had fucking over like 400 yards in those 3 games and a couple touchdowns. I mean, I know he had the big one last year to open up the game, but. It sucks not having Nico, but really need Tank, need Stephon. I need Tank to fucking show up.
Yeah, no, Tank should be here in the chatter because there is chatter about Tank Dell.
Yeah.
There's chatter, man. I mean, and I don't want to put Jay from Wyoming or Idaho now on blast, but he was fully saying like, all right, what happened to Tank Dell, dude? What happened to him? First of all, Mans broke his leg last year.
Yeah.
Broke his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Then over the summer, he got shot in the leg.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a graze. It was like through and through.
Went through.
Yeah. So he got shot. Maybe he's still just working out getting the strength back in that leg. Maybe his cuts aren't as crisp. I believe in Tank. I believe that, that game against New England, he had a pretty solid game, 50-something yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Did drop that touchdown against Green Bay, but if he caught it, then we're looking like he made a difference-making touchdown.
At least he caught a touchdown,
Yeah. No, he would have
won that game if he caught that fucking
it would have made a huge difference. So, I'm not Tank. This is the perfect get right moment for him.
Yeah.
Let's try to get Tank some targets. Let's try to get him the ball. No goddamn in-arounds, dude. No in-arounds, dog. I'm tired of that shit with Tank Dell, man.
The X factor is Bobby Slowick as well. Let's see what he can
Bobby,
muster
please.
up.
Bobby, please.
We need it. We need you. We need your A game here, buddy.
Let's get into some final scores. Let's get into some score predictions because I got mine.
What's yours?
27-17 Texans.
Okay.
Yeah. I win by 10. We cover. I I think that'd be a good like momentum builder going into the Thursday. 27-17, and there is going to be some bullshit ass plays, like, you know, maybe like Anthony Rich, they get the ball right, and then there's a penalty, and they move it up 15 yards, and Anthony Richardson escapes the pocket, scrambles for like 20 yards, and it's like a dump off to like, you know, Tyler Goodson or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then he like runs it all the way to the 3, and then boom, they run it in for a touchdown.
Right.
There's gonna be drives like that.
Yeah.
So as long as we stay on top of it, I think we win by double digits. So 27-17.
I like it. I'm gonna go 31-13.
31-13.
Yeah. I think the Colts get a touchdown early. Not like first drive, but I think they get, you know, a touchdown the first half. I think after that, everything gets shut down. I think they get a couple field goals, and that's it for them. And I think Mixon gets a touchdown. I think CJ throws 3, and then Kayemi gets 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. Obviously, I want yours to happen. It sounds awesome.
Yeah. I'm usually the more hopeful one, so we'll see. But
yeah,
I can see it happening. I do. I mean, I say this, I feel like every week, but I think I can definitely see it.
Have you predicted a Texans loss once this season?
No, I don't. Maybe I did against Green Bay. No, I don't think so. No, and I shouldn't, because also every single game we've lost, other than the Vikings game, we should have won.
Okay. Yeah, no, we should have won the Green Bay game for sure.
We should have won the Green Bay game. The Vikings game, we shouldn't have lost. Or we should have lost. I mean, like, but that was just like a dominant, like, whatever. I can't say anything about that game.
Yeah,
but Green Bay, we should have won.
I agree with that. We should be 6-1 right now. We should be fucking 6-1.
I mean, 5-2 is still great, but god damn it.
As long as we get to 6-2, I'm really hopeful going into Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know, 5-3 going into Thursday night. That's fucking ultimate trap game.
I hate that.
That's a trap game. Yeah, no, and then like boom, you lose that one, and then immediately you're 5-4. And who wants to be 5-4 right now? Not me. No. Not right before the Detroit game.
I need the Texans to be 7-2 before that Lions game.
Yeah, no, desperately.
I need Sunday Night Football. I need to see that 7-2 next to the record.
By any means necessary. By any means necessary.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah.
But,
all right, guys.
I am going to be at Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. I want to be there dressed as this, you know, walking around, scaring people, watching the game. They're with the spirit. They're with the Halloween spirit. So go have a few beers there. Go have some appetizers. Go have some crispy, juicy, delicious chicken wings, and tell them Apollo sent you. Houston's wing joint once again. Apollo's wing joint once again. Thank you, Big City Wings.
Yeah, thank you so much, Big City Wings. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Helps us out a lot. Lets us know that you like what we're doing. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Apollo Texans and Apollo HOU, and follow us on all the social media platforms to keep up with Houston sports and obviously the Houston Texans. Guys, comment down below your predictions for Texans, Colts. Interested to hear what y'all have to say. It could be score predictions. It could be who's getting the first touchdown, who's getting a touchdown. Drop the whole parlay down there if you want. Whatever you got going, we want to hear it. Let us know. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you later.
Watch Texans. Go Texans.
Watch Texans.
Watch Texans.
Hey, Dexter, what up?